The Speyside stages becomes round 2 of the 2018 SRC with the weather-enforced cancellation of the border counties. And yes, the boys are back in town. 3 former champions are back in the SRC this weekend, along with a man who came within 1 stage of the championship title. That man is Garry Pearson, the 2016 championship runner-up, missed the snowman with an ankle injury, but is here in Elgin with Paula Swinscoe on the notes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll just have to kind of go at our own pace and see where we come out, but certainly the pace in the front is going to be hot, so we'll just see where we go. These boys are a lot fresher than I am.
Well, yes, but
joining the comeback crew, 1999 Scottish champion John Byrne is out in an S8 Impreza.
It's nice to be back. It's scary to be back, but it's nice to be back. A lot of friendly faces.
yes.
Two-time champ Jock Armstrong is back with Hills winning co-driver Camille Fair. Can the Impreza still cut it against the R5 and WRCs?
It's a fantastic day. Yeah, it's a good day to start again. So 6 months has came around pretty quickly, but to be honest, there's a pounding in my heart this morning that you can't believe. So I'm quite excited about the whole thing. Excited to be seated at car 2 as well. So obviously I'm still rated to this point.
And taking the number 1 spot, the 5 times champion David Bogie is out in his Fabia R5 for some Pirelli prep. Can he take an unprecedented 9th Speyside win?
Yeah, I think it'd be the 9th, which is good. It doesn't feel so many, but yeah, you know, I love this rally. It's a nice part of the country, and hence the reason I'm back again.
Yeah, and of course a bit of a shakedown for the car for next weekend.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the last time we were out in gravel was Rally GB back in October last year, so it's important that we get some gravel mileage prior to the first round of the British Championship. So that's the plan for today.
They join a championship that's the most open it has been in years. Round 1 came down to a battle between the WRCs of Quinton Milne and Andrew Gallagher, with the Ford man taking an historic first SRC win. They were followed home by the Fords of Donnie McDonald and Ray Mackay, and the giant-killing Evo of Stephen Clark. As always, 2 runs of Cooper Park would open the day, and as always the SRC would put on a show. The park had already bit, Dave Ross's Dam out with centre diff failure, and Keith Morris's Evo blew its prop shaft off the start line. Leading by 1 second after the 2 park stages, Bogie immediately stamped his authority on the gravel. That 1 second became 11 seconds after Teamland and 33 by first service. That gap was to his fellow Fabia driver Rhys Yates, the Welshman also out for some Pirelli prep, and although not registered for the SRC, he was already embroiled in a huge battle with Jock Armstrong's Impreza, the former champ defying the more modern cars once again to lie just 2 seconds back from the R5.
Here chicane left entry, fast to the finish from here, 40, 6 left over crest and 6 right, 50. 6 right 40, long 6 right, no cut over crest, C140 down, 6 right over crest at 100, crest at 200 going down. Watch your braking through the gate and turn tight hairpin left.
7 seconds further back, 18-year-old Lawrence Whyte was well on form after a difficult snowman. The Fiesta just 7 seconds back from the 2-times champ and just 2 seconds ahead of Mark McCulloch and Michael Hendry. It had been an encouraging start for the Hardy team, second equal after leaving Cooper Park. Then it had started to go wrong, power steering failure once again making it a painful run through Talker's Wood for Mark. To still be fifth was a superhuman effort. Just 5 seconds back, Buckley teammates Donny McDonald and Andrew Faulkner had also started well and were locked on time with Freddie Milne and Patrick Walsh, the impressive man consistently in the top 10 times and building in confidence as the day progressed.
Tight one right. See it, tight one right. Keep going right. Immediate turn, tight hairpin left. 60. Oh yeah. Okay.
11 seconds down the road came Kermit the Evo. Why Kermit? Well, apart from the green paint job, Bruce McCombie says the team are a pair of Muppets. Those are his words, not mine. But the Muppets were going well, second class 10 car and top Evo after 5 stages, despite being backwards in Cooper Park.
Left 5 over bump, keep right over crest, jump, and left 3 no cut opens and tightens 2 and 8. 150. No.
12 seconds back, Ray Mackay and Keir Beaton were sampling a McKinstry Impreza this time out. 9th after 5 stages was a good start, but that was it. Gearbox problems putting them out at first service. Then we had the championship leaders 82nd after a disastrous Cooper Park with 2 stalls and a spin. The newly liveried Focus was right on the pace on the gravel and had climbed to 10th by first service. They were only 1 second up on the returning Michael Binney and Claire Mole, the Challengers champion relearning the rallying game and dealing with the aftermath of a hand injury that saw him miss the snowman. There were already some big names in trouble. John Wink and John Forrest had started fantastically, second equal after Cooper Park, and were 6th coming out of SS4. The 2.6 miles of Talker's Wood was a disaster, a puncture causing the Hyundai to snap sideways and roll. 3 minutes were lost, and they dropped to 83rd overall. Faring much worse, Garry Pearson and Paula Swinsko had damaged the suspension in Cooper Park, and the repair job had left them running late on the road, and they were pushing hard. Sadly, it would all go wrong in Knockmore, a big accident resulting in the stage being cancelled. Paula was taken to hospital, but thankfully is already on the way to recovery.
Yeah, good, very, very loose in places, but not good, just a classic Speyside stage, so although it was quite short, still enjoyable.
You good time in Teenland, what about Knockmore, what was that like?
Yeah, okay, yeah, just at a really nice, happy pace, so yeah, there's more in the tank, but I think the pace is good enough, so we'll just
yeah, it's good. I enjoyed, I was a bit hesitant through the first one, just getting used to like notes and stuff like that, so yeah, I mean, that one was really good fun there. The first one were really loose and there's a bit more grip than the previous 2 was done, so yeah, we're building a bit of momentum now, hopefully.
Very lot of loose gravel. Davey's just breaking the crust off it and I'm just on the gravel, but they're the same behind me for a few cars, so if it's that waiting game, you're not full on the throttle, you just have to quietly feed it in, so quite an interesting stage. It's a lot of corners, so it's good.
5 stages would make up the rest of the day, with second service after Ballach won. So let's take a look at some memorable drives. Martin Crombie and Daniel Christie were flying in the 306, sitting 32nd overall after Gartley won. Sadly, stage 9 would see them roll out of the event, but still one of their best drives to date. Also suffering disappointment, Stephen Clark and Paul Gribben had powered their Evo into 10th after SS7, but that would be the end of their run, engine problems in service putting them out. After that SS5 disaster, Wink and Forrest brought themselves back up to 39th at the finish. In the battle of the comeback crews, Alan Dixon and John Byrne finished 20th and 21st respectively, just 21 seconds apart. On their first gravel event in the Impreza, Brian Watson and Caroline Will looked the best we've seen them in the forests. A very neat and controlled drive netted them 15th overall and 3rd in the Challengers. Dropping to 14th by the end of the day, Binney and Mole showed they still had the pace but ran out of luck. This front puncture in Balloch doing the damage. Taking a second two-wheel drive win, Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank had another fantastic run in the Big Escort, finishing just 3 seconds back from Barry Groundwater and Ashley Will in the Evo 10. A big improvement from that Snowman ditch for Barry. Also retiring early last time out, Scott McCombie and Mark Fisher had a much better day this time, grabbing 11th at the finish, but unfortunately Scott lost out by just 2 seconds to his cousin Marty Scott. Back in a rally car after a 2-year break, Marty had started the day gently but was quickly up to speed. Despite flirting with disaster here in Balloch, he powered the Evo to 10th at the finish and 2nd in the Challengers. This performance was enough to net Marty the John Horton Star Driver Award. Playing the championship game, Andrew Gallagher and Jane Nichol were taking no chances after their early delays. 9th at the finish keeps the Cobble Shop team in the championship points lead. Still going well, the Muppets grabbed 8th place at the finish. Bruce saying he's struggling to live with the R5 and WRCs. 21 seconds up the road, it was another solid run for Donnie McDonald and Andrew Faulkner. The Culloden car sales team now just 1 point back from the lead in the championship standings. Lawrence Whyte is a young man in a hurry.
Long 6 right, no cut, 130. Long 6 right here, then 130. 6 right over crest, 100. Deceptive long 3 right, repeat here, deceptive long 3 right. Sudden 1 left over crest, no cut. Sudden 1 left over crest, no cut. You okay on you go, that's it. And 5 right in, 180, repeat 5 right in, 180.
It looks even more dramatic from the outside, but it's a fantastic recovery. The young charger with Stuart Loudon alongside grabbed 6th overall at the finish, just 4 seconds up on Donnie. A great drive in his second SRC event, and a Challengers win into the bargain.
Well, started off in the morning, got in some quite good stages, and then last 2 stages there we had a couple of hiccups, but we finished. So
you seem to be nip and tuck there. Although it was quite a good wee battle sort of developing in the middle of the top 10 there, and you were in amongst them. That's good.
Yeah, good. But I wasn't allowed to hear that, so
you kept it from you.
It was all kept a bit quiet. So.
Whereas today the conditions were perfect, weather was good. And obviously Lawrence did a rally last weekend down in Wales, which helped, so more miles under the belt, but no, it's a definite improvement, and he's adapting to the notes really well, so can't complain at all.
It's a dogfight between Milne and McCulloch for third in the SRC.
Yeah, good. That last one, I think we dropped a bit of time. Rhys Yates' bumper was in the middle of the road, so we took a strive for that. But no, just a great day for it. Really enjoyed it and getting more familiar with the car. Kicking myself for not having done a bit more testing now.
the rat gave up in the snowman as well, but luckily we were on a 3 mile stage there. But you saw the state of me at the end of it. I genuinely was exhausted after 3 miles. It's so heavy, but when it's got the power steering, it's grand.
Yeah, I know, but that was hard work.
It was, but the thing is, because it was such a short stage, I didn't want to lose too much time, so I just tried as hard as I could, and we didn't lose too much. So.
40, right 6 over crest, and long left 9 over 60. 50. Right 3, don't cut.
After a fantastic effort to fix the power steering in just 18 minutes in service, Mark had an 8-second advantage over the Impreza coming out of stage 8. But then his enthusiasm got the better of him. 2 overshoots in the final 2 stages, so the Fiesta slipped to 5th overall, losing out on the SRC podium by just 1 second. Keeping their cool, Freddie and Patrick have produced their best drive so far in the WRC Impreza. 4th in the rally and 3rd in the SRC is a fantastic result, and it's clearly a big day for Freddie.
50, 6 left, 50, 2 left into the bump, 2 left into the bump, 70, fast 2 right into the bump, 180, all the way, go on. 6 left into flat 5 right, 250.
Absolutely delighted. Just can't, honestly, just still shocked. I
mean, obviously this afternoon, sort of midway through, there was quite a battle developing, but your pace picked up in the afternoon and you jumped about 2 or 3 places.
Yeah, I feel like saying that to Pat, really kicking myself for not having got a bit of a test in or something, because I spent the morning trying to get to grips with the car again. It's a little while since the snowman, so.
Conditions much more predictable today, of course, and therefore you could commit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it's that car really. It's just it's the car, not me. And Pat.
The stages do suit the car a little bit. He starts listening a bit more. Once you start getting 1 or 2 good stage times, confidence comes out. Gets a bit carried away now and again, reining back in. Yeah. But yeah, and I know he said towards the end he felt he was a bit off on a couple of stages, but the times are still pretty good. So, and it shows the result we had.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the potential. You're doing yourself down a wee bit, Fred. You've still got to learn to drive the car, and you're doing that. So, the rest of the season looks as if it could be interesting for you.
Aye, yeah, well, that's what I'd like to think, but if nothing, I'm a realist, and I know that car's worth a lot of time, so I think I'm still hesitant on the notes and still not quite there, but as I say, that's why I'm so reluctant to do a rally without Patrick, because he saves the car maybe twice a stage on average, at least one big one every rally for sure, so.
You're obviously worth it, Patrick, because it's not an easy thing to do, is to rein a Milne in.
I better start charging a bit more then, I think.
It's a similar situation for second in the rally between Yates and Armstrong. Armstrong and Fair were able to beat the Fabia over 6, 7 and 8, but that only amounted to a 6-second advantage. In 9, Yates took a second back before the 2 cars equalled each other over the final stage. This left Yates third and impressed by the Scottish pace. For Jock, it's a fantastic return. Second in the rally in a Class 10 car shows just how good the Impreza team are. Both Jock and Cammy very pleased with their day's work.
Jock, Cammy, congratulations, second overall. It's good to see you back out, Jock.
Yeah, thank you, and it's good to be here, and well done to Cammy today. Absolutely fantastic, good result. Couldn't ask for any better. David always drives well, and he does go well in this event. I go well in this event, so but just not as well as David. But we picked up a puncture this morning, totally my fault. I earmarked this pothole in the tarmac and I drove straight over it. So I've only myself to blame, and that's about it. But no, today was good done. Well done, Cammy. Yeah,
You were clearly quite nervous this morning, and obviously very rusty today, never having sat in the car for 6 months or so. But hey, it got quicker as the day went on.
I was nervous. Was I nervous this morning, Cammy? I was rock solid this morning. No way.
Can we replay that
Cancel this.
this morning and keep her back?
Cancel this interview. Okay.
For Bogie and Rowan, it's hard not to use words like domination. Fastest on every stage, the Fabia was unheaded all day. Perfect Pirelli prep and a 9th Speyside win for David.
It's been a brilliant day. You know, I really enjoy this rally. I enjoy the stages. You know, really good people up here. So yeah, it was good to come away with the win, and you know, number 9, it was pretty special. So looking forward to next year.
Very controlled, obviously, and with a new co-driver in. So John must have played his part today as well.
He did. Absolutely faultless job from beginning to end. So you know, the important thing was to come here, get more time in the car, and you know, he's done an absolutely perfect job. So no complaints there.
Apart from a bit of snow mileage, that's your first gravel for a wee while, and it sets you up well for next weekend in the first round of the British Rally Championship.
It does. You know, it's all about time in the car, getting back onto gravel again, and you know, it's been a perfect opportunity to do so. So, you know, a really good day, good competition still, and you know, just really enjoyed it.
Hey, go for it. Go!
So Bogie makes it 9 wins in Elgin, but the championship is finally poised. It's been a long time since we've had such an open battle at the top of the standings. Next up, the Scottish Rally, running in a new format, which could make things even more interesting.